Bonjour and welcome to the World History course. My name is Philippe Girard. I will be your professor over the next few weeks as we cover the history of the world from 1500 all the way to the present. It's going to be a fascinating ride. First, a word about the format of the course. These lectures are intended for first-year college students. So if you're a 10-year-old history buff looking for cool stuff on YouTube, some of the issues that we will be discussing, such as violence and slavery and sexuality, they might not be suited for you. On the other hand, the lectures are meant to be a general introduction to world history, so if you're an expert looking to learn intricate details about a topic that you know a lot about, like, I don't know, the French Revolution, things might be a bit too general to your taste. I typically only have one video on each topic, and there's only so much that I can cover in 30 minutes, so think of it as a sampler menu. You get a little taste of everything. And this way you get the big picture. After that, you can always check out a book from the library to learn more about a given topic. And if you're watching those lectures just because you are some random dude who stumbled upon my playlist on YouTube on a sleepless night around 3 a.m., well, just kick back and enjoy the show. But if you're a student who is taking my class for credit, well, there are some ground rules. First, take some notes. We will cover a lot of material in the course, so unless you're Rain Man, then, well, there's no way that you'll remember everything for the quiz. I distributed a PowerPoint to help you take notes, so use that as a guide. Pay particular attention to the terms that are listed on the PowerPoint because, wink wink, they might be on the test. Here's another tip. If you have a hard time understanding what I say, either because of my sexy French accent or because I mention a lot of foreign terms, well, turn on the closed captions. And finally, if you can't get enough history, well, check out other playlists on my channel because I have a precursor to this course, World History Before 1500, as well as a course on the modern US and a playlist on the history of women. About the scope of this course now, well, it's a world history course. So we will not just cover world history through the prism of Western civilization, Europe and the US, but as the entire world, from Haiti to Japan and Easter Island. In practice, because we are covering a period post-1500 when European colonialism was at its apex, a lot of the lectures will involve countries like Spain and France and Britain, and then the places that they invaded, like Latin America, Asia, or Africa. So colonialism, that will be the first theme for the course. The second theme will be economic development. As a general rule, European countries did quite well economically over the past 500 years, whereas many non-Western countries did not do well economically, which begs the question, why? Was this kind of economic disparity connected to colonialism, i.e. colonizers stole the wealth from the colonized? Or did poor countries make poor political and economic choices of their own? That will be a major theme for the course. The third and final theme will be ideology. The various intellectual models that were proposed over time as the best way to organize one's society and economy, such as liberal democracy, capitalism, communism, or more recently, Islamic fundamentalism. So big ideas and their impact. That will be the third theme. Okay, well, in the first section that we're going to start soon, I will be dealing with all three themes as we study the European colonization of the Caribbean after 1492, with a special focus on the exploitation of the region and its laborers, as well as the economic impact that this may have had in the long run. So we'll start with a lecture on the man who started it all, the controversial explorer Christopher Columbus, who effectively enslaved the Native American inhabitants of the Caribbean. The official term was repartimiento or encomienda. Then we'll cover the process by which Europeans refashioned the environment of the Caribbean, which is called the Columbian Exchange. Among other things, those newly introduced diseases had the effect of wiping out the Native American population, thus destroying the very labor force that the Spanish were trying to exploit. That will bring us to lecture 3, when Europeans shifted to yet another form of laborers, and that would be Europeans. And we'll study various forms of semi-free white labor, such as indentured servitude on plantation and impressment in the Navy. And while we're at it, we'll study the people who fought back against such tyranny at sea, the pirates. And then we'll shift the focus to the third and the largest labor group to be exploited in the Caribbean, and that would be African slaves. It's an important topic, so we'll have two videos, one on the Atlantic slave trade, the one that brought those laborers to the Caribbean, and then a second video on the Caribbean plantations where they toiled. All these videos should be listed in the description below. Otherwise, just go to the playlist on the side and look for the course on modern world history and work your way down the list. Goodbye. Au revoir.